Hello students, welcome to All Force E-Learning. So, I am physics lecturer. I am teaching for JEE Advance for past 14 years. Please, a small section for you. All of you sit with book and pen. Please, because one of the middle we will do numericals and I will tell you some of the important points. For that, you should go through book and notes. See here, so today we are going to start one of the topic. It's a very important for JEE Advance. Almost 90% of the topics related to physics, these are all linked with vectors. Due to that reason, today we are going to start the topic vectors. Before going to know about the vectors, you should know about introduction of vectors. So, maybe in your school level, you gone through different things. Once again, I will recall because it is an introduction. What are those? First one, physical quantity. What is physical quantity? Don't tell that quantities which are used in physics. No. Physical quantities. What is the meaning of physical quantity? Quantity which is measurable. These are all physical quantities. Once again, I will recall the definition. Physical quantity is quantity which is measurable. So, in our daily life also, so many things we will measure. What is your height? We will measure something like 5, 5.2, 5.3. It's a measured. So, what is the time? The time may be, now it is the time something like 12 o'clock. It's a quantity measured. Something like mass. What is your mass? Your weight. You will tell that your weight is 30 kgs. That is also measured quantity. So, everything what you are doing in our daily life, those are linked with measuring. Without measuring, we cannot understand the things. For that, we are using physical quantities. All are measurable. What are measurable here in our physics? Length, first one. Mass, time, electric current, temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. These are all comes under one category. What is that? Fundamental physical quantity. It's a one type of physical quantity, name is fundamental. By using fundamental, we are going to derive some more physical quantities. Those are derived physical quantities. What are fundamental and what are derived? Fundamental quantities are already existed. Any concept, anything when you are learning, that should have a base. Here also we imagine some are existed in the universe. By taking existence of this, we are going to derive these derived quantities. Here, so when you think ourselves also, I am there, my father there, my grandfather there, somebody who all created, so definitely God. So, because of God, we are all created. Definitely 100% no doubt about it. Somebody created us. Who created? That is fundamental. Who are now we are observing all we are, that is a derived. So, basic format one should be there. That is fundamental. From fundamental who are derived, that is our derived quantities. Regarding fundamental physical quantities, we have length. What is the meaning of length? What is the meaning of length? Length is calculation of distance or calculation of path length or calculation of shortest path between initial point and final point. You know very well about length. Mass, this is quantity of matter. 1 kg of sugar, so it is having quantity of 1 kg. See, time, it is a measuring of duration. It's a measuring of duration. Time, electric current. So, this is also you know that it's the rate of flow of charge. It is more discussed in second year JEE advanced topic. Temperature, you know that day temperature, if it's a summer it's a more temperature, less temperature, we can call that. What is the temperature? Degree of hotness or degree of coolness. Amount of substance. What is the amount of substance? Like number of moles, gram moles. So, how many moles are there? According to that we can calculate amount of substance. Luminous intensity, this is regarding light. About this luminous intensity, luminous flux in unit area is luminous intensity. It is calculated in candela. So, these are all comes under fundamental. This is measured in meters and centimeters. This is measured in grams and kgs. This is measured in seconds. This is measured in amperes. This is measured in degree Celsius, degree Fahrenheit, degree Kelvin. It is measured in moles. It is measured in candela. So, these are all the things, those are fundamentally existed. Don't feel that from where it was there, already existed. Don't think about more about it, because already it is there, somebody created it. Now, derived, these are all derived from fundamental. Now come here, derived. Here velocity, velocity derived because it is derived from displacement by time. Displacement is length, time is fundamental. So, displacement is length, time also fundamental. From these two fundamentals we derived velocity. Now, what is the acceleration? Velocity already derived, again derived to derived. So, this is derived, again this also derived. Velocity indirectly derived, now acceleration also indirectly derived. So, overall what I am going to tell you is, overall physics having physical quantities, these physical quantities categorized, some are fundamental, some are derived. Now, here in this, again in this whole discussion, again we should have a clarity. In this fundamental and derived quantities also, different formats are there, different ways we can understand the things. What are those? Depending on its properties, again these physical quantities we derived into three categories: scalars, vectors, tensors. Once again, depending on properties, we derived physical quantities into three categories: scalars, vectors, tensors. Please let me, I will show it. See here, these physical quantities again of three categories: scalars, vectors, tensors. What are scalars? Scalars, again we have two categories. Only it has magnitude. Scalars having magnitude, no direction. It's a one possibility of scalar. Next possibility, some physical quantities having magnitude, direction. Now, it has magnitude, no direction. Some scalars it is having magnitude and direction. Now comes to this one, it is having only one variety: magnitude, direction, and satisfies vector laws. Here scalars, it has magnitude, no direction. About this example, see distance. Distance is example of this magnitude and no direction. Suppose if I am going from Karimnagar to Hyderabad, if I am going from Karimnagar to Hyderabad, everybody knows that distance almost it's a 178 or 175 kilometers. Distance is right. Our road is having different curves. It's not like a single line. You should take care of so many curves, so many turnings. So here distance only path length. It is not having direction. Maybe in any direction you can go it. Without considering direction, from Karimnagar to Hyderabad you are going only through magnitude. It is not having any direction. This category is a scalar. Now distance is scalar. Now second category, this also scalar, it has magnitude and direction. Even though magnitude and direction there, it is scalar. Why? Because it is not satisfying vector laws. Even though these two are there, it is not satisfying vector laws. Not satisfies vector laws. Magnitude there, direction there, but it is not satisfying vector laws. I will give you one example about this. Suppose electric current I, something, it's a 10 amperes. It's having direction, it's having magnitude. 10 is the magnitude. How much? That's the magnitude. 10 is the magnitude and it has direction. These two are satisfying, but it is not going to satisfy because electric current is not giving or satisfying vector laws. What are vector laws? That is our topic. After knowing vector laws, then we can understand why this is not satisfying vector laws. So once again I am recalling you, scalars of two categories, only magnitude no direction, scalar. Some physical quantities, it has magnitude and direction, but not satisfying vector laws, those are also scalars. But come to vectors, magnitude, direction, satisfying vector laws. Let it be. Displacement is having magnitude, it's having direction, and it satisfies vector laws also. Suppose this is the initial point A, it is the initial final point B. Shortest length between A point and B point is displacement. Suppose this is 100 meters, magnitude 100, direction also there, and it is satisfying vector laws also. 3 points it is satisfying, magnitude there, direction there, and it is satisfying vector laws. Due to this reason, displacement is a vector because it is satisfying 3 laws. Come to tensors. What are tensors? Tensors, these are not scalars, these are not vectors. Tensors, it is not our syllabus. Only one physical quantity there in entire our physics JEE advanced syllabus, that is moment of inertia. Moment of inertia I. It is not a scalar, it is not a vector. See, moment of inertia is tensor. What is the property of tensor? It is having magnitude, it is having direction, but in different positions it is having different values. Position changes, its value changes. That is the nature of the tensor. So mostly forget about tensor. In our syllabus, we will discuss scalars and vectors. In your school level, you will go through this definition only. Only a point you know that. But here, one more point will be added in your higher classes. What is that? Magnitude and direction also there. It is not a vector. It is a scalar because it is not satisfying vector laws. It is the most important point. Don't forget that, because you learned up to now magnitude and direction there, you can treat like a vector. No, because it has to satisfy third point also. Previously you don't know vectors, due to that reason we didn't discuss this point. These two you seen, and that is called vector. But third point also it should satisfy, then only we can call it is a vector. Understood my point? Please go through it. Now we are going to enter into our topic vectors. See here, vector representation. How can we represent vector? Vector is represented with this. This is a tail this is a head. Vector having 2 points, one is a tail and the one head. Whenever you have seen this bar, that is the indication of vector. V bar, velocity vector. A bar, acceleration vector. F bar, force vector. Any physical quantity, if you seen that above the letter, if you have this symbol, then it is a vector. So tail and head is the representation of vector. Now here, how many types of vectors are there? How many types of vectors are there? First one, real or polar vectors. Real or polar vectors are real vectors. So already existed. Those are not imaginary. Physical quantities, really they are existed and we can see those. Those are real vectors or polar vectors. Example for that. Distance, speed, vector, velocity, sorry for that, acceleration, even you can take displacement also. Displacement is a polar vector, velocity is a polar vector, acceleration also polar vector. Displacement, already I have shown you. What is the displacement? A point, B point. Shortest path between A point, B point is displacement. It is having direction. It is having direction. A point to B point, shortest direction. It is having specified direction, displacement. This we can see, we can observe. Due to that is a polar vector. Next, velocity, you know that it is a S bar, suppose. S bar by time. What is the acceleration? Change in velocity per unit time. Change in velocity per unit time. Displacement we can observe, velocity we can observe, acceleration also we can observe. Here this category of vectors, all physical quantities really existed in the universe, in nature, and we can see those. Due to that reason, these are real vectors or polar vectors. Next category, axial vectors. Axial vectors, these are imaginary vectors. These are pseudo vectors. These vectors are observed by certain rules and some laws. Without that laws we cannot observe. Here there is no law, there is no rule. Directly we can observe this. But here these are all observed by using certain laws. Those laws are nothing but of right hand rule. By using right hand rule we can observe these axial vectors. Otherwise we cannot observe these axial vectors. Example for that, angular displacement, angular velocity. Simple. Variables which you are observing in circular motion, in rotatory motion. In circular motion you can observe these are all the variables. In translatory motion we can observe these quantities, real or polar vectors. In circular motion and rotatory motion we can observe these vectors, angular displacement, angular velocity. What is the angular displacement? Angle travelled by the particle. Suppose angle travelled by the particle 30, angular displacement 30 degrees. Suppose how it is travelled with respect to time, how this displacement we calculated, that is angular velocity, that is angle traveled per unit time. Angle traveled per unit time. This is observed in radians. This is observed in radian per second. Overall, these are imaginary, these are real. That's only the difference. It's a translational effect, it's a circular or rotational effect. I think you understand between these two. Next category, equal vectors. What are equal vectors? Before going to tell about equal vectors, see here, vector, let it be A bar. One more vector, B bar. See here, in equal vectors, it's the length of the vector. This is the length of the vector. This indicating direction. Length of the vector and direction. These two, A bar, B bar having length same, direction same. Then these two called as equal vectors. In equal vectors, two are having equal length. What's the meaning of length? Length indicating magnitude. Equal magnitude or same magnitude and same direction. Direction also same. Don't forget that point here. Vector, length indicating magnitude. This length indicating magnitude. Length less, magnitude less. Length more, magnitude more. Depending on length, we can decide this physical quantity having more magnitude or less magnitude. Suppose substance of mass m kgs. Now here force applied 100 newtons. Same mass. Now I have applied 50 newtons. I should feel that this length half, because 150 magnitude also half. 100 is the magnitude, 50 is the magnitude. 100 suppose L length, 50 it is having L by 2 length. Here this is the meaning, same thing here. These two here, this is length indicating magnitude. Here to here, it is a length, again it is magnitude. So A bar, B bar both are having same length, then that is equal magnitude. Here direction also same. Now this is called equal vectors. Now A bar and B bar both are equal vectors. I think you understand about equal vectors. Don't forget that. Equal vectors having same magnitude and same direction. What's the meaning of magnitude? Length of the vector is the magnitude. Please remember this point. Here we have next category of vector, that is collinear or parallel vectors. Collinear or parallel vectors. Already in the name itself, parallel. A bar vector, B bar vector. See, length different, its magnitude different, but direction same. In case of parallel vectors, direction same, but magnitude different. This may be L, it may be 3L, it may be L, it may be 4L. Now, here B bar is equal to K times A bar. Suppose this is its it is 10 meter per second. A bar is a velocity. Suppose it's a 50 meter per second. It's a 10 is a bar, it's a velocity. If you multiply this is with 5, it's a 50. Now B bar is 5 times A bar. These two are same direction but different magnitude. One is a multiple of other. One vector is multiple of other one and both are in the same direction. Then those two are parallel or collinear vectors. Once again, two vectors having same direction and one vector is a multiple of another vector, then those two are collinear vectors or parallel vectors. Now see here. Now position vector. What's the meaning of position vector? Vector which representing position. Once again, vector which representing position, that's a position vector. Suppose x axis, y axis, z axis. Here it is a particle. This is the origin. Now, where is the particle? From origin, here, directly draw a line. From origin, there is a line, this representing position of a particle. Let it be r bar. Now, this is called position vector. Vector, it representing position of a particle or a position of a substance from origin. This is called position vector r bar. Suppose it's x comma y comma z. In geometry, it's a point in the space. Where is the point? X comma y comma z. Now, r bar also representing position according to vectors. P point also representing position of the point according to geometry. So better I will take 2D, then I will go for 3D. Now 2D plane, x, y. Where is the point now? X comma y. Let it be x, it's a y. X, y. Now, origin, x, y. What about this length? This is root of x square plus y square. Pythagoras rule. Side square plus side square is equal to hypotenuse square. What is this? X square, root of x square plus y square. Now, this length same, no? This is x, this is y, this is y. Now, what about this length? Root of x square plus y square. Now, how can I represent this r bar? Position vector r bar is, how can I reach P point? X along x axis, y along y axis. X I cap plus y j cap. Here are the new terms. I cap, j cap. What are I cap, j cap? I cap indicating direction of x axis, j cap indicating direction of y direction. Here I will tell you about unit vector next point. Before going to know about, I am used here. So what I cap indicating direction of x axis, what j cap is indicating direction of y axis. Now here previously x y also indicating, x is the point, x distance along x axis, y distance along y axis. Here vector indicating clear cut information, x along x axis, y along y axis. Now mod r bar. What is the mod r bar? Magnitude of r bar, that is under root I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square. magnitude root of x square plus y square. Here also root of x square plus y square. Through your geometry, this length is root of x square plus y square. Through vectors also, what is the length of the vector or magnitude of the vector? Root of x square plus y square. When you are calculating magnitude of a vector, you should remember this point, under root of I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square. I think you understand well. Suppose x axis, y axis, let it be 2, 3. What is the position vector? Is this the position vector? R bar. R bar is equal to 2, 3. 2 along x axis, 3 along y axis. X axis I cap, 3 is y axis j cap. Now what is the magnitude? Magnitude of vector is a scalar under root I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square. 4 plus 9 under root 13. Previously Pythagoras rule, it's a 2, it's a 3, 90. What about this? Root of 2 square plus 3 square. Same thing here also. Even if you go for geometry or even use the vectors, answer same. So vectors concept is telling where the location of the point or particle. From the origin, we can exactly locate the position, that is, it's a clear information, x along x axis, y along y axis. That is the position of the particle, xi cap plus yj cap. Now, similar to what we used in algebra, same thing, magnitude of r bar I can write as under root I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square. I think one of the example I took, 2, 3 is the point. Now what is the vector? 2 along x axis, 3 along y axis. Now vector I know that. What is the magnitude? Under root of I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square. I got the answer as root 13. See here, one more. See here, one more. A point, R1 bar, B point, R2 bar. This is 3, 4, this is 5, 6. Maybe down 2. Now, what is the R1 bar? Let it be y axis, z axis. What is the R1 bar? Y. This is y. 3, 4, k cap. What about R2 bar? 5, j cap, 2, k cap. Position vector of a particle is R1 bar. 3, y direction indicated by j cap. 4, z direction indicated by k cap. J cap, k cap, I cap representing x direction, y direction, z direction. Here also same thing, 5 y axis direction, 2 z axis direction. I think you understood about R1 bar and R2 bar, how to write position vector. Now similarly, can you write 3-dimensional x, y, z? This is a point, R bar, x comma, y comma, z. What is the position vector now? X along x axis, y along y axis, z along z axis, x along x axis, y along y axis, z along z direction. So, I cap indicating x direction, j cap indicating y direction, k cap indicating z direction. What is the magnitude of r bar? Under root I cap coefficient whole square plus j cap coefficient whole square plus k cap coefficient whole square. The final answer is magnitude of a given vector r bar is root of x square plus y square plus z square. Now, we will calculate magnitude. Find magnitude of some of the vectors. A bar is equal to 2i cap plus j cap minus 3k cap. Magnitude of A bar, root of I cap coefficient whole square, j cap coefficient whole square, k cap coefficient whole square, under root of 4 plus 1 plus 9, 10 plus 4, 14. See, vector magnitude always scalar. Vector magnitude always scalar. Here if you write bar, it is a vector. If you didn't write bar, that is a scalar. Vector magnitude always scalar because I didn't write bar here. So, what is the magnitude of A bar? A equal under root of 14 is a vector magnitude A bar, that is a root 14. So, overall today what we discussed, that is physical quantities. Those physical quantities are of two categories: fundamental physical quantities, derived physical quantities. Overall, all the physical quantities again we derived into three categories: scalars, vectors, tensors. Now we are going through vectors concept. We gone through representation of vector, head and tail. In that vectors we have gone through different types. What are those? Real or polar vectors? Real or polar vectors are real vectors. Those are observable. Those are existed in the nature. Axial vectors are imaginary vectors. Polar vectors in translational effect. Axial vectors in rotational effect. After that we gone through equal vectors. Two vectors having same magnitude, same direction. And after that we gone through collinear or parallel vectors. One vector is a multiple of other one and both are along the same direction. Those are collinear or parallel vectors. Next we gone through vector position. Vector which is representing position of the particle or position of the object, that is a position vector. That position vector we indicated by 2D like xi cap plus yj cap, 3D xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. So, overall this is a review about this. Same vectors you will get in mathematics also, even physics also. Same topic. How important is a vector? Almost difficult numerical, even critical numerical difficult also, comfortably we can solve by using vectors concept. It is a too important. This topic will be used in so many other topics. Why I am telling you, overall physics is one of topic in the science, subject in the science, sorry. So, in this subject, if you want to learn properly, maths should be required. Mathematics is basic tool. Suppose you want to go from one place to other place, you will go by bicycle, you will go by scooter, you will go by any vehicle, or you can use your foot also. So, here you require a basic thing. Similarly, if you want to learn physics, the basic tool should be there. The basic tool is mathematics. If you are strong in maths, you will be strong in physics also. So, my kind advice is be strong in maths, you will be automatically strong in physics also. Understood my point? So, vectors is a basic concept to understand the physics. Same topic you will get in mathematics also. So, next session we will discuss about some other points of vectors. Thank you.